very shortly, but Anna Turvey looks a picture of concentration. She's an optometrist based in Yorkshire, and she is one of the top riders on the British time trial scene. Former member of Scotland's Commonwealth Games cycling setup. And Anna Turvey recently switched to Ireland, and in with an opportunity to make an immediate impact. Savenka, quite a bit younger, she's just 22 years of age, and an up-and-coming rider. It's Turvey that had the advantage from qualifying. So clean getaway for both riders, and qualifying, as I said, it was Turvey that qualified third. 3:36.017 was, well, 1.6 seconds, just over 1.6 seconds faster than Savenka. It's a significant advantage, but it's all about recovery, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not that much of an advantage, just under 2 seconds. So it does depend on how you backed up from the qualification, which were only a couple of hours ago. Late on this afternoon. So the result only came out at 17:44 this afternoon. So they're 2 hours after the qualification, and they're back on the track again. So 3 kilometres for the women, 4 kilometres for the men. So again, this comes back to our argument yesterday, wasn't it, where we were saying if we're going to have equality across the board, let's have the same distances and everything, especially on the track. I can kind of see the argument on the road, but on the track I think we should have the same distances across the board. But Turvey at the moment looks very controlled, and up by about 1.5 seconds at the moment by the looks of things.
Nothing to choose between them in the first couple of laps, but Turvey's getting into it now, and as I say, she did have a bit of an advantage. So just under a second through the first 4 laps. The first kilometre complete, they're into kilometre 2, but it's really the last 4 laps, 12 laps in total of this 250 metre, and just under 1 second. So she's maintaining and managing this advantage. Turvey, the Irish national time trial champion on the road, really obliterated the opposition in Kilcullen earlier on this year, and indeed she was a participant in the World Championship time trial on the road in Doha the other week, although the heat probably costing her dear on that occasion. Not exactly cool in the velodrome in St. Quentin, but for all that, nothing like the conditions that they experienced in Doha.
No, I saw a couple of pictures of Alex Dowsey when he finished the time trial. He literally looked like he just got out of the bath in his kit. It was absolutely soaked. It was ridiculously hot out there.
Savenka is making a bit of a comeback here. Looked like Turvey was controlling that advantage of just under a second, but it's a 0.3 of a second gain by Savenka, and now it's well, maintaining. She gained another few hundredths of a second, but Savenka is on a bit of a charge now. Is she riding to a particular program? Is she thinking about, though, the rider on the opposite side of the track and racing against her? They will have made a plan before things, and now it is, well, Turvey has managed to re-establish another couple of tenths of a second, and it's going in the right direction for the back end of this. It could be a medal for Ireland. It's in the last couple of laps now for Anna Turvey. Can she hang on? This is the tough part.
Yeah, well, that gap's going out, what was it, about a second now, so she should be able to drive on, but we remain to see exactly how Savenka finishes this one off, and if you ride a nice steady schedule, then yeah, Anna Turvey is on for a medal, and nice steady position for her there, tucked in very well.
And there it is, coming into the final closing stages of this women's pursuit for the bronze medal. Looks like it could be a medal-winning performance on her first international track championships with the Irish team. Anna Turvey grimaces and heads towards the line, and that is job well done. 1.38 seconds to the good ahead of Ines Savenka. She confirmed the status after qualifying, and she has managed to achieve medal-winning success in her first international competition for Ireland on the track. So that is, well, something that will be a great boon to the Irish development high performance lineup. 3:36.591. It's an impressive effort indeed, just over half a second slower than she managed in qualifying.
So backed up well there from qualifying, and pretty much the same gap between them, wasn't there? Just about 1.5 seconds between qualifying and the final tonight. And now we move on to the final with Olympic champion Katie Archibald against the Polish rider Justyna Kazkowska. Katie Archibald is she's one of those riders that she's not interested in taking a rest, is she? She always rides the European Championships. Seems like she just loves riding her bike and loves racing.
But everyone loves racing, don't they? You'd rather be racing than training. You know, and fair play to her, she does love to get into the thick of it, yeah. Get into the mix. And
my point is, there's probably quite a few athletes from Rio who aren't training. They're probably, you know, on the beach having a bit of a holiday, a bit of a well-deserved holiday, to be fair.
So the women's individual pursuit, it's the final now. Katie Archibald of Scotland and Great Britain. And it's shaking the head for Anna Turvey, but a smile too as well for herself and Brian Nugent as they celebrate a bronze medal for Ireland. But now the gold and silver medals will be decided between